Everybody, how you doing today? I hope you're all having a great day so far. Oh, my Tuesday morning has actually been pretty nice. The weather's not quite as hot here, surprisingly, and I just had a pretty nice morning. Um, oop, this webcam's a little washed out, but that's okay. Let's see. But anyway, let's get to some programming. Okay, so what I was gonna do, or started on yesterday, was right now the game or the server doesn't really know how to handle a second player um, that's on the same client, and we want to support that at least during testing so that I can control two players easily. And yeah, I guess that's it, just because I want to be able to control more than one player easily so we can actually test input for those two players without having to run a second client every time. So I've kind of started adding that in. The main thing is every player will have this is guest flag, and if it is a guest, then it will just be treated as, well, the server and the game will both treat it, or the server and the client will treat it as not sending or receiving messages. So like for here, we want to check to make sure that we get generation information from all players so we can see, just make sure that they're all synchronized. But if a player is a guest, then we know that its information is generated by a different client, so we don't have to check to see if we received something from that. So I've just got to go through and add that kind of check for all different cases. And it looks like I didn't miss any so far. Let's actually try to move. Okay, so now it's... Okay, so now it's saying it's inactive. It should have switched to let me control the second player. Well, yeah, but actually I don't think I have that set up quite yet. Okay, so let's clean this up a little bit. I'm really almost there. Just selection for the choice manager here, where it's going to try to choose another player to assume control. Right now I have this, and yeah, if it's local it returns true. If it's a local AI it returns the script index. So I guess what I need to do is set this local type also for guest players. So I think we generate that. When do I create the players actually? Okay, so yeah, during the map generation phase, that makes sense. Okay, so this is okay, just copying data from a save file. Okay, so if the username is equal to username, then that's local. So should I have another type that's like... Okay, so I don't think I need a local AI or an online AI because it's the same thing. So I'll just do AI, but we probably will need like, I guess I'll have a guest here. Oh, I lost that class I just had open. Okay, let's clean up all those tabs up there. Yeah, so we don't really care if it's the host because I think before when I was doing this, I thought that AI would need to be generated, like the actions from the AI would need to be sent over the server, and other players would just take that. But actually, AI will be deterministic, so every player can just generate the AI's actions themselves. So there's really no difference between if it's local or not. So do player type equals AI, and we'll just set that to -1 for now because we don't actually support AI yet. I'm just trying to think about in the future. Okay, so yeah, if saved is guest. Well, actually, I don't really need to have a separate thing for the guests, do I? We would just have, they just be local or online player types. We would just set the is guest flag. Maybe the player type itself should just... Let me see, how do I want to do this? Okay, I don't know if I want to store that kind of information in here actually, because it's just duplication from the lobby parameters. So maybe this player type, all I need to do is just say if it's AI or not. Yeah, that might be good enough. Let me see. So this class actually generates the lobby parameters from a save file. Or actually the lobby would have done that. Okay, so okay, so I guess I probably should separate this player class from the actual like lobby information. So save lobby slot. This is kind of like metadata about a player, or I think I want the sexual player information to only have information about the how should I say this, like the actual game, the battle needs, and not information that the server and networking and stuff like that needs. So what would I put in here? I guess we need to have okay, yeah, so the slot type. I really just need to store all this. The AI script, a username, and then guest, and then the parent. I think really I could just... Well, this will actually be almost exactly the same, but... Okay, so that means a save player will not need... Well, I guess we'll still need a type, because I guess we'll need to... Well, I think this could be summed up as is AI or not. And then this class won't care if it's a guest because that really has no bearing on the actual gameplay. And the username, that doesn't matter either. Okay, and I think always the save player will have like a 1-to-1, or a player will have a 1-to-1 mapping to a lobby slot. So I think that's like, I don't think I need to have some entry like this, because their indexes will just always be the same. Okay. So yeah, technically we could combine these classes, but I kind of like them being separate. Okay, so this class won't actually... What am I trying to do? Okay, so I guess I don't really need to store the AI script here because it's also stored in the lobby slot. And I guess I don't have to save is AI either. So I really, just for a save player, we just need to store the team. But we'll want to expand that information for the actual player. This player data. Okay, let's just to clean up the file system. I think I'll just delete that file just for that enumeration and put that in here. Okay, so actually, yeah, and I don't even think I need this. So I'm just gonna have is AI, and then I'll have AI script index, which I guess really we could say this is -1 if it's not an AI, but... And then we'll have the team. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. Okay, so yeah. So this class really is just going to try to regenerate the lobby parameters. Oh wait, no, I don't need to do that because the client would have done that. Okay, so what does this class do? It just... Okay, so it just loads a bunch of stuff to get ready for saving in the future. Pretty much just copies information from the save file, or if it's a new file, from the lobby parameters so that we can get ready to save. Okay, so we can assume... Yeah, so this class only needs to look at the lobby parameters if it's not from a save file, because we can assume that the lobby parameters also read all this stuff from the save file. Okay, I guess we could... well then, in that case, it's probably safer to just grab everything from the lobby. Except for information that's not present, like the start monsters. Okay, so let's see. Copy from... So yeah, we'll always want to copy from the lobby first. And then if the file is not null, oops, then we'll want to gather any information from the file. I guess otherwise we might have a little bit that we need to do. Do setup new game. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to do this. This will actually go in the setup new game. Okay. So, I guess all I do really here is just do the start monsters, but yeah, we also have start players, which I guess I don't know. Well, I think this is probably useless, but just to, because this will be generated in another class. This. Okay, well actually no. So we should actually insert information about the players in here. Okay, the players actually will gather from the lobby parameters, so. Okay, so log dot start players equals new, and this will have the same number as their slots in the lobby. Okay, I guess this file name. Doesn't the lobby parameters have like a file name? Yeah. Don't know, do I actually set this anywhere? Okay, so this is like this file that it wants to load, but if you're starting a new game, I guess I should have like a boolean public bool load save. And if you're not starting a new game, you'll just save into this file. Okay, let's see. This would be lobby parameters dot load save is false. Okay, so, and also if create new is false, then we'll try to load the save file. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna need to reshuffle a bit of this around. The file does not equal null, then we'll gather. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and create. Actually, no. So if we want to load a save, but the file doesn't exist, we should throw an error. Yeah, that's true. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we'll want to throw an error here. I don't have, oh, I do have a try catch, so I can just type throw new map generation exception, and I think I'll just need to create a new one. Save file load error. Okay, so anyway, now that's taken care of. Yeah, so we'll just save into this file. Okay, so now we need to copy over the start players. Let's just do this. And then save lobby slot. Okay, so first, yeah, we basically just need to copy over everything over. So I could do this a little simpler, I think. Doesn't. Oh yeah, I'm doing the wrong thing. So. Oh, the battle log doesn't have a reference or the lobby parameters set up yet. Yeah, so it should be like that. What's new? No, not new string. We just want to copy it from the slot. And is guest is slot dot is guest. Parent username. And then by script. And the slot type. Okay, and then finally we'll just need to create the same number of save players as there are lobby slots. But we won't actually... Okay, well actually, we'll need to create... Okay, so we'll just need to create like empty values in there, and they'll be set up later. Well actually, let's not deal with that right now. Okay, let me see. So this actually just sets up the battle. It doesn't actually set anything in the log, I think. Yeah, I should really rename this file. I get this gather from the save file, but well, I guess this is it because we're pretty much just gathering all the data we need for the save file. Okay, so anyway, and then we'll just loop through this again. And I guess we actually wouldn't really set anything in here because... Okay, actually, yeah, I'm doing this wrong because this isn't from the lobby parameters, so... Okay, I don't know why I do that because can't I just do log dot start players equals file dot start our players. So I don't have to copy the team array. I guess before they weren't exactly the same. Okay, and then from a new game is what... Yeah, we'd have to go back and do what I was doing before. Okay, so I guess the team would just be empty. And I think that's all the information that's in there. Okay, so this whole class, I don't need anymore. Or that whole method, I mean. Okay, so here... I guess one other thing I should do is I need to make sure that the lobby should have done this, but the game depends on it, so I should make sure that the log.start players length equals the lobby parameters length. Okay, well if it doesn't equal, then I need to throw an error. Gen exception. Okay, I guess I should check for a local player as well. But player and lobby slot mismatch. Okay, and then bool local found is false. And then we'll just loop through each one. Well, I don't really need to do a for loop. I can just do a for each loop. So if slot dot slot type okay, yeah, this is maybe here I should have a boolean to say if a player is local, because that means that it would be controlled by this computer. How else would I know if it was local? I'd have to check the username versus the username in our the local connection. Well, maybe I could just do that. Because I'm trying to think, how often will I need to know? Probably pretty often. But do I want to store that information in here or not? Let's just go ahead. So public. Okay, so if I'm going to store it here, then I actually won't check to see if a local exists in this class. Okay, so anyway, we're done with that. Okay, so yeah, so this class shouldn't... Okay, it does have the lobby parameters. What does it need it for? Okay, I guess it's leftover. So, okay, if I delete that. Because I don't really want this class to depend on the lobby parameters, because everything should be in the battle log now. Oh, speaking about that, do I ever... Okay, so this random seed is already part of the lobby, so I don't really need to set this twice. Same with that. Yeah, all these mods I can get rid of, actually, because it's all set here. Yeah, so I think in general I'll defer to what the lobby says, because that will override the save file, because a player could, for instance, change some of the mods in a save game in the lobby, even though I think that would probably break things, but... Okay, anyway, so back to this. Okay, so start players. We actually want the lobby slot here. Okay, just to drive home that this player is being inserted at this index, I'll use this class switch. As I've said before, it's just something I wrote that if a list is too small for this index, it just extends the size for me. So I don't have to worry about dealing with that myself. Okay, so the type doesn't... Yeah, it has a slot type. Okay, so if it is a guest... So really all we need to know here is if it is AI, if it is a local or not. Okay, so if it is a guest, is local equals local connection username equals the saved parent username. Otherwise, is local equals my username, or equals the actual username for the slot. And I guess either way, it equal set or... Okay. So yeah, either we've already found the local player or this one is local. And then I just need to set is AI to false. And I think the team should already be instantiated, but yeah, it's done in the constructor, so I don't need to do that myself. Okay, so if it is an AI, I just set p dot is local to true, because all AIs are local. Oh. And then is AI to true. And I guess okay, so yeah, we won't deal with the script index yet. So do I want to set this to true? Because if you had an all AI game, technically this would be okay. And actually, okay, this is a... Well, I won't worry about it now, but at some point we might have like a slot type for an observer, which we'd have to handle this differently, but... Okay, so if this is none, then okay, so how would I deal with this? We basically would just want to even want a player here, but I have to have something. Okay, so maybe I do need to have the player type back. Look, you know. Also, yeah, whenever I do accept or implement observers, then that would be another reason. So I guess let's just call it controlling instead of player, and then AI. Or even input would be better. Oh no, actually I think controlling is better because observers would have controls, but they don't actually play the game. And let's comment that out for now. Okay, so all I have to do here is just set the player type to none, and that would be good enough. Although I guess I should just set is local to false. So I don't think I have to update anything else because this just has to do with copying data about monsters. Yeah, and this hasn't changed. Okay, so let's see what bugs or what errors I've introduced from changing all that. Nothing? That doesn't seem right. Well, I know at least I need to update save file loader. Oh no, this is actually fine, but the writer, which, okay, it hasn't been updated at all yet, so I won't worry about that. Okay, neither has that. So never mind. But I'll need to remember when I do update these, I'll need to add in support for the lobby parameters or lobby slots. Anyway, this. Okay, yeah, so there was an error. I guess it just, okay, I hadn't finished compiling yet. I was gonna say there's gotta be something. Okay, so if it's controlling, then we'll want to return player is local. And then if it's AI, then we'll just return true. Oh no, we'd return false actually. Because AI, yeah, don't assume control of this, they would be inserted into the AI system, but we're not dealing with that yet. Okay, so hash creator. Oh yeah, because it sends information about the players. Okay, so we've got to be careful that this hash, because the hash needs to be the same for all players, so we should only send information that's the same. So for example, this is local, we can't send because it's different for each client. We can send the team. Actually, don't send the actual monsters in the team. But yeah, I need to update this because, yeah, for instance, this isn't like the best hash. It's not even a hash, but yeah, so I won't worry about this for now. Because we'll need to come back and update that. Save player. Okay, I see. So this should actually just be the save lobby slot. Okay, now I don't have to do that. I can just copy it directly. Okay, so let's let it compile. I think that should fix everything. So, Really, the game should just load up and we won't actually notice anything different. Okay, so far so good. I did set this up right. Okay, so they're both players. So here in the debug, can check. It's a player, it has no script. Username editor. Okay, this one has no username itself. Because I don't know how. I guess players will be able to name themselves, but then parent username. So that looks good. Let me make sure that the battle players make sense. And I guess I should check here. Well, this just has the team, but okay, so now when I choose this, it should, okay, it does switch over to player number 1, which is the second player. So I've got to move the camera over manually so I can actually see it. Oh, I wasn't moving the camera. Okay, and now it says it's done because I selected something for both players. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so I think I'm done with the players for now. Yeah, so I guess we need to have some kind of simple camera controls. I keep meaning I need to update this. Okay, I guess I was having some trouble with this earlier. This is actually kind of involved. Okay, but I remember I wasn't really happy with it. I think it's fine, except I need to have a way. Well, we just need to add in like keys that you can do to cycle between active monsters and focus on a specific monster and then rotate around that. But I mean, that's not that gonna be very difficult to do. But I don't think I'll do it right this second. Position and input state as the mouse position. And then we need to pass the events up to our parent. Okay, so this just means the cursor is not locked to the screen. Okay, and then this mask. What do I use the mask for? I do a raycast? Oh, right, because when you drag, you want to try to move the camera so that the point that you clicked moves across to match the mouse. Okay, so it's actually... Yeah, I forgot about that. So we don't just like pan the camera directly, it depends on the distance. Okay, yes, this was more sophisticated than I remembered. Okay, move mouse to the edge of screen. I'm not sure what that comment was trying to get me to do. Oh, I know what. It's because, yeah, if you move the mouse cursor to the edge of the screen, the camera should pan that way. But yeah, right now I just want to try to clean up to get the game how it was before, and then we'll update camera. I need to do that some point soon. Do I not have? I thought I had an entry here for camera controls. Oh yeah, so move when cursor is at the edge of the screen, and a cycle between remaining monsters, and then lock, or wait, not lock, I guess anchor to selection. And then, what else do I want to do here? Maybe like when a monster is moving, it should follow the action. So I guess let's see, follow the action during, I guess action phase. But I'll put a question mark there because I don't know if that will be confusing or annoying. Maybe we can do that, but then if the player ever moves the camera themselves, then we would like relinquish control. And then also in Lua, yeah, I want to allow Lua scripts to control the camera too. But yeah, we'll do that all later. I just want to get back to how it was before. I still have the mouse wheel, don't I? Yeah. Let's change this variable to just input. Oh yeah, and so this will cause a lot of problems because it's like a different version of the tick function, so I need to override the one that actually works with the event system, which has no arguments. Okay, this is actually kind of bad. This should go in the input watcher, but we'll deal with that later. The only other thing I need to do is watch for left and right click changes. For now. Okay, so I don't want to trigger a thing for this because I want to actually know when left and right click change from being pressed or not pressed. Do I want an event for that, or do I want to just watch for that myself? Okay, let's just say, again, a simple button is just either on or pressed or not pressed. So simple button change. This is as opposed to like a scroll wheel. Okay, so I don't even listen to right click yet. Oop, shouldn't be public. Okay, and then if last left click does not equal input dot left click, we would cue the simple button change. And the order here doesn't really matter. Left click. Yeah, this is going to get a bit messy. I wonder if there's an easier and a better way to do this. It's because I'm having to like have the same type of code for a bunch of different buttons. And every time I add a button, this is going to get more and more unwieldy. Yeah, I'll need to think about it. I mean, one thing I could do is that I'd have like, I don't know, a hash of these buttons that were last pressed. That would slow it down. Yeah, I'm not sure the best way to deal with that. Maybe I just need to separate each of these into their own little class and then... yeah, I'll have to think about that. Or just leave it how it is. I don't know. Oh, right, I didn't finish this. So simple button change. I guess events on button change. So I don't really need this argument. Thanks, Wonderful, for the host. Oh wow, lots of viewers. I really appreciate it. How are you doing today? Still working or had any chance to do Erling, or I forget what you said that your other project was going to be? Right now I'm working on a new, better camera. Just finished adding support for second player. That's going pretty well. Okay, so right click. Oh, the host was... Oh, well, no matter the number, I still do really appreciate it. Alright, so what am I... Yeah, I'm trying to look for a file here. Oh yeah, I always forget it's in this play flow folder. I want this because well, actually, okay, the camera is actually in the map controller. So let's... First I need to resolve the camera position. And then... yeah, the controller. It could just be normal. And I guess... Okay, so what's the class that actually positions the camera? Oh, here. Camera positioner. It's a mono behavior. Again, I don't really like to use this. I mean, mono behaviors are fine and all. They don't really match with my... or they don't mesh well with my event system. Okay, let's... Again, I think I'll just break it up like this. And then we'll have public... or it doesn't need to be public, actually. So, camera positioner logic. Flow logic container. Okay, so yeah, since I did this, now we can just actually use a constructor. That's really the main issue, is that amount of behaviors we don't have control over when they're created. So event queue, we can't even use the constructors. So I just need the camera position here. I saw that Unity, you can actually easily download the new entity component system, which I know I used to talk about a lot, but ended up... Well, I'm kind of waiting for the... how do I want to name this? Sorry, trying to type and talk about something unrelated, but I'm kind of waiting for the entity component system to be completely finished before I really dive into it, because it seems like from Unity's what's the word? Recommendations are, I guess, progress, that it could change quite a bit. So yeah, I'm leery of learning one system and then they decide that they won't actually use that. I guess it is good that they're letting people test it early, so I'm not really complaining. It's just not for me. Okay, so also at this point I need to get this monobehavior class. So I'll just use find object of type. I don't really like this name because it's too close to this camera position. But I guess it's fine because it's in the UX, so it's not really going to conflict. Oh yeah, and I don't use update anymore. And also now we know that the position won't ever be null, so I don't have to deal with that. Okay, so initialize camera positioner logic. Oh yeah, this is part of the UX. Okay, so it needs to go below this camera manager because the camera manager sets the position. And I think it'll be important that they update on the same frame so we don't get any jerkiness. So which... Okay, I do have this UX, so I guess I'll just use that. Okay, so I think that's gonna take care of everything. Unless I still have the syntax error. Oh no, it just hadn't compiled yet. And I still have this mono behavior script there, so yeah, we're good to go. Okay, so it works how it used to be. Yeah, the dragging actually doesn't really work, does it? Because like when I click here, that's supposed to stay under the mouse, but it doesn't. Rotation is pretty good though. Well, yeah, okay. I thought I remembered it used to work. Maybe that's the main issue I wanted to fix. Let me see. Click and drag to move the camera so that the place clicked stays under the mouse cursor. I guess the only issue is that if I dragged over nothingness, then it wouldn't. Obviously, I'll just go to max depth, I guess. But yeah, let's not. I don't really feel like I need to update it all the way right now. I kind of just want the game to be back up and running to how it used to be, and then we'll update the camera after that. Okay, so now, yeah. Cool, so we're ready to move on. Oh, and we still got quite a bit of time. I wasn't sure how long it would take to update that support for players, but actually it was relatively simple. Oh, I just noticed my webcam's gotten super dark. Yeah, unfortunately I can't leave it on auto brightness because then it tends to get way too overexposed. Maybe there's a better driver or something I can use. I should look into that. Or just not use natural light, but I don't know, I think it looks better. Okay, so anyway, next what I need to do. So yeah, we're not going to do AI now. I guess I should write a note to actually work on the AI system. I don't really think that's something I need to do in the first beta. Okay, so I do have AI script. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I guess I don't need this class right now. So, okay, I guess yeah, we're done with selection, I think. Oh, no, we're not yet. Let me see, I forgot there's a bit more. We have to deal with the server now. So we've actually only done this make choices, so I've got to submit to server, and then once we get the ready check, we request everything back, check to make sure no one's cheating, and then we do a final ready check and move on. Okay, so we still got a bit more to do here. Okay, I think I can get rid of this class though. Yeah, I'd like to clean up a bit here, so I think I'll just delete that and this finalizer. Oh no, this is actually what sends to the server, so I want to leave that. It's a collector. Yeah, this is an old kind of hacky class that I did because I didn't actually plan AI that well, so I'll just delete that. The indicators. We don't need this. This is all server stuff. Okay. Yeah, we'll need to go back to this. This is the class that sends the selections back to the server. Okay, so this is like an old version of this choice control manager. I guess I'll get rid of it. Okay, then we updated all this, and yeah, this is obsolete. Okay. Yeah, I knew that I was gonna have to do a lot of reworking to the selection system, because it wasn't planned very well when I first wrote it. Let me see. Okay, so the next thing I've got to do. Need to wait until the choice control manager complete event fires, and then we'll move on to send to server. On choices, made, I guess is fine. Oh, why did I type on twice? Okay, so here, yeah, it'll just be like this. I'll need to check to make sure. Acceptable. Same as that. Yeah, I won't want the play state. I want the selection state. Okay, so if it's on make choices, we switch to submit choices. Okay, so that would be the selection finalizer. Oh yeah, this was like something really confusing I was doing for a bit. So this is really old. Okay, I'm trying to figure out which one. Well, okay, I don't think... Maybe I don't use either. Okay, what do I call... Okay, it's a send battle gen info. I think I can basically copy this because all we're doing is sending a couple events up to the server. I don't know if I like this name though. Let's call it choice message sender. So this does two things. So first, we'll send a message with all of the choices that the local players on this computer has made. On this client have made, I guess I should say. And then alright. Generation. Oh yeah, I don't need that anymore. And then it will also send a ready check up to the server at the same time. And so when the server gives us back this ready check, then we know that it's received this information from all clients. And so we can move on to verify that data. But, okay, so what actually holds our selection? Is it just... That's a good point, actually. So yeah, right here, when it switches to the next player, it should like deposit the selections somewhere. Okay, let's see. Actually, okay, so what did I call it? I have this action sequencing dot sequence selections. So I guess we can just fill this up because it already has a list of selections. And later on when we transform these selections into the actual actions the game will take, it uses this class as its base. So let's see. When we first enter this phase, I should clear it. No, I think this is... Now that I think about it, I don't know if I should use this because... Well, I guess it's fine. Well, okay, if I need to change it, I can do it later, but... Yeah, so later on we'll need to add in selections made by players across the internet. That's not that big of a deal. I just didn't know if I should have a separate list of just local selections. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm probably overthinking things. So I guess here we'll want to save selection. Oh, it's not gonna... Okay, I was hoping it would just generate a method for me. Save selection. Okay, and this class doesn't even have like the current selections, does it? Oh. That's okay, I guess. I don't really know where else this would go. Okay, so selections dot sequence add new turn selection, and it has the player index, which is actually stored in the state. Okay, and this is another thing I need to... Well, I guess I'll leave this for now, but at some point I want to be able to support multiple selections per monster. But I guess if that was the case, when I called advanced control, it's just the controlling player when it changed, so it's not that different. Because like sometimes you might want oops, what am I doing? To be able to give a choice for every monster that you own. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, we save it and then we advance control. Okay, so now that I have that, I'll need to grab that class. Okay, so this is the right check sender. What is the type here? Play, choice, actions, yeah, calculation. Yes, that's all good. And then here we'd want to... Okay, so if it starts with C, that means that's originating from the client. And we'll want not a request, send, want that. I guess play. Okay. I guess. Oh, well, no. I'll leave it. I was gonna say I should just say it, or send turn selections, but we're actually setting it. Well, it's kind of just semantics, but we're sending selections for a certain number of players, and then the other players will have to like add them all together later. Okay, so what I want to do here, player selection phase change. Okay, so yeah, this is fine. We just set them, are both message senders active, which means they'll start sending over the server. And then we just get the message to actually send here, which is... What is it? return selection message, which just has this information. Okay, maybe I might have already deleted it. I was gonna say I didn't really want to have to type this out again, but yeah, because it used to be in here, but I deleted over it. That's okay. Well, I guess if I'm really lazy, I can look in the history. Although, now that I think about it, I renamed the file, so there's no history. Okay, well that's okay. It's not that difficult. Okay, so message dot... Okay, so you should rename this from players because this is, again, assuming that there's one selection per player. Okay, I need to rename that as well. This will be selection sequence dot count. Let's call it item, I guess. So I don't have to type selection twice. Okay, so for int I equals 0, I less than message selections length. Okay, and really all you need to do is just copy the information from the selections or the actual game data class. So selections sequence I. So player index equals selection dot. Now I think about it, can. Okay, well that's okay, but yeah. Can I just send these indexes over? I don't know. Okay, well the index is fine because the index is tied to a lobby slot, which is the same for everyone. And I guess the monster indexes are fine because they're all generated. Okay, yeah, so this is okay. I just didn't know if the indexes would be the same for every player. But yeah, the monster is fine because they're generated from the save file. Yeah, and it's the ability names. I can't send an ability index because that's generated from the mods, and the orders could be different just depending on how the files or how Windows decides to serve up the file system. And in order to get the ability name, I need to have this game data. Okay, and then the target index is the same because that's generated by the Lewis script, and we always, or we have to make sure that the Lewis scripts always execute the same. That's the whole reason we're sending all this information. Okay, so there we go. And then down here, we need to make sure that's the array type we actually care about. So play choice. Okay, I should rename these, actually. How do I want to do it? Thought I already did rename them to something better. But it's like... This isn't ordering anymore, this is like the sequencing. I had names I liked somewhere. I thought it was... Maybe it's in errors. Oh no, it was the lobby, or the server phase. Okay, so this is like the things that the players choose and then end of turn actions. Okay, so that makes, or that works. Okay, so selections and then selections. And then, okay, next is actions. Yeah, so first we deal with actions, then we translate the action or the selections to actions. And then we execute them. Then in turn effects are generated purely by the mods. So there's no selections to be made here. Are generated purely by Lua code. Okay, so I think that's fine now. Again, if we're in submit choices, I guess I should rename this to submit selections just to not confuse myself. Okay, and then yeah, once we've received this ready check and we're in the right phase, then we can stop sending messages and signal that this is complete. We'll go ahead and write this event watcher, why not? Did I not actually? Okay. Okay, I see what happened. I just renamed the file, but not the class. Okay, so this should be on choices submitted. Rid of that extra white space. I guess I'll just name this to make selections as well. Okay, so yeah, after we do that, then we want to request all selections from the server, because now we need to check to make sure that nobody sent. Well, we have to check two things. One, that the server isn't lying to us and didn't try to send other players wrong information about what we submitted, and then we have to make sure that the other players' selections are actually valid and that they're not cheating somehow. But okay, so if I did it now, actually nothing would happen because I need to instantiate that new class. Oh, this is the right one actually. So it'd be initialize selection. Oops. Okay, so now what will happen is we'll actually start sending the messages, and I should get debug logs about that, but the server won't handle them, and so the game will actually just hang there forever. Well, I think after a while we'd actually get a timeout error, but yeah, so now we're sending stuff, so I'll just exit this. Yeah, so the client sent, yeah, this ready check. And then, yeah, we see that the server received it at this point. Because it says, yeah, this event is on the server. Or I guess right here. But what's the error? Failed to invoke handler. Oh, I see. So yeah, the server doesn't even have a handler for play selections calculation actually. Or wait, yeah, this play set turn selections. So Unity actually is just letting us know. Okay, so let's go ahead and handle that first. Accept selections. So I already have this class, but I don't know how much I'll actually use it. But the name is fine. I had yeah, see I used to separate this into like message acceptors and message providers, but I don't actually think that's very useful. Because it just is basically just this line and this function is all that we have to do to send a or handle a request. Okay, so do I already have a play messages? I don't think so, so I'll need to add that. But let's go ahead. Okay, so let's actually yeah, comment this out again. I'm not going to use this class. This will be play selections manager. Okay, and let's clean up these tabs. And okay, I think I can just copy this pretty much word for word, and then I'll just need to switch around some enumerations and things. So what I'll actually want to do here is cache turn selection message, because I want to store these messages that we get from each player. Okay, and then I'll need to make a new play messages class. And all this will do is just store messages that we have that we're ready to send to any client that asks for them. So yeah, tactical lizard tamer, networking, all turn selections message. So I'm gonna get that class out of there so I don't accidentally edit it. I've done that way too many times. Okay, so play messages. And do I already have a play phase change? Okay, I do. What's it complaining about? Oh yeah, I probably just need to make sure I'm using Unity's networking namespace. Okay, and then this should actually be C. Oops. Play, set turn selections, and then play request, turn selections. Okay, so yeah, on server stop, we'll just want to clear first the message cache and remove this generated message. Okay, and we'll want to do that here as well. Oh, okay, yeah, I do need to have a flag here actually. Public bool selections message received. Okay, that's really long actually. So let's yeah, this should be play. Yeah, and I also need to reset this. Okay, so let's see. If state dot play phase equals voice yeah, selections calculation, then I'll want to reset. Okay, and if it does not equal, then I want to clear the message cache because we don't need to keep that around. Do I really? I don't know if I need this on main phase change because when we exit the play phase, we also would change this to something else. But oh, hey, Offie Gamer, good to see ya. How you doing today? Anyway, so yeah, don't need that for sure. This is fine. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so anyway, when we receive a message, first we need to get the connection and then get the client slot for that connection. Let me see. This could be a problem because couldn't this throw an error if somebody tried to go through here but they weren't validated? Oh no, because as soon as a connection connects to the server, we would create this class but just set client slot to -1. That's fine. Oh, good to hear you're doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing good too. We're making some good progress today. Always makes me excited. Okay, so now I need to read turn selection message. Okay, in this class, I don't know if I've ever shown this. It's possible that when you read a message that you actually get some exceptions, so I didn't really want to have to do a try catch every time I try to read a message from Unity's messaging system, so I just have this message reader helper class. I guess we'll leave that in case. Oh, I see what's going on. So first we want to create the new message, and then we can use our cache to actually set up the values for us. So yeah, we just have a list of the client IDs that we received the messages from, which is the same as the player ID. And then the actual messages from each. We don't really do anything else to it. And the server in this game is pretty bare bones. It just receives things from other players and then sends them out on request. Okay, so here, let's see. So we'd only give this information if we're during the play phase. And then also if the play phase is after the selection generation. So let's see. So actions, let's not do that. Let's go chronologically. So selections check, and then actions. I could just say does not equal selections generation, but or calculation, I guess, but this is a little safer. Well, this is actually all the ones that we would do it. That's okay. Let's see. Boolean in phase as false. Okay, so yeah. So basically, if the server is at a time when we are actually ready to send a message back. Oh, yeah, it's missing a break there. Then we first get the message or the connection ID from this message, and if we have associated this connection with a client, which basically means they know the password and we validated them, and we've actually received. Well, this should always be true, but I guess just in case. Then we just send it back to that connection, and this would actually be on the server. Request or server play request turn selections. Oops. And again, this is the cached message that we create up here that contains the selections sent from every client. And I think that's all I have to do. Do I already have... Yeah, I do have ready checks set up. For some, at least. Let's do play, selection, manager. This would just be normal. Then I need to also bind the... I like doing it this way better. Play messages. Okay, so that's all set up. Now I just need to look for ready checks. So again, this is the auto ready checks, and basically it will just, if we receive a ready check for, how would this work actually? So if a or if a client, I don't even know if this would happen, but if it somehow got behind the server, let me see, then it would want to okay, so the question I have here is basically if for somehow one client got behind the rest of the server and the rest of the clients, then if they sent this ready check, we would want to tell them, okay, yes, you can go because we've already passed that phase. But then what do we do with the selections that the client sends? Because if the server has already gone past that phase, then the server is kind of already like... Okay, server's already accepted selections from them, so we kind of just have to trust the server on our own selections. I guess that'd just be... I guess that's just going to be how it has to be. So let's see. And I guess the client would just need to know that, okay, I've disconnected, so I just need to trust the server on whatever it sends back to me. Actually, I don't even know if this can ever really happen, because right now if a player disconnects... Well, I could see... Okay. In order for a player to disconnect in this way, it would have to be after it sent the ready check to the server, but before it received the ready check back. So if that's the case, then it's already sent its generation data to the server. So technically everything would still be equal. Yeah, I think I'm fine not worrying about that case right now. Okay, so anyway, oops, what am I doing? I need to switch the play phase now. So basically, if it's not initialized turn or selections calculation, then we would return. Yeah, so if it's one of those, then we don't want to send it auto or ready check back immediately. So that's fine. I hope what I was saying before made sense. Thinking about networking is usually pretty complicated just because you can't guarantee that things happen in any chronological order or that your messages are actually received. Thankfully, Unity does have some guarantees on that kind of thing, but I think even if you disconnect in between messages, then you have to handle that yourself. Actually, this isn't check. This should be calc. I could go ahead and just figure this out for all these play ready checks. That might be nice so I don't have to keep coming back to this. Although it's going to be a bit of a pain. I wish there was an easier way to deal with this. Well, okay. So for every play phase, basically... maybe I can do it a little simpler. Because for every play phase, it goes in a linear order. And if one ever doesn't, then I could just have a special case. Let's see. Let's try and figure this out. So, bool is auto ready check. I guess linear phase, and then so I guess last refuse phase would be here. So yeah, first we have to make sure that we're in the play phase, of course. And then if let's state, so we'll have a few here that will always reject, and that would be just none for now. And false. Default, we'd return. So remember, enumerations are really just numbers with fancy names. So yeah, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, on and on. So we have the linear order encoded in the enumeration. So if I cast these to integers, then we want to make sure that we're in a phase after a specific one. I don't like to do this usually because it assumes a specific ordering for the enumeration. But I think it'll be worth it here because otherwise I'm just going to have spaghetti code. Anyway, so we have to make sure that the current phase for the server is greater than this last refuse phase that will pass through. And then yeah, if we're not in the play phase, then we'll just return false. So now we don't need either of these functions. Okay, I'm still gonna be a bit of spaghetti code here because I'm gonna have to send in a specific phase for each ready check. So maybe I should use a dictionary here. So private dictionary. Oh no, actually I want the ready check type. This would be last refuse. Then I can just build it here. Okay. That's the play. Okay, let's go in order again. Okay, I just messed that up. And I also forgot to do the turn initialization. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna need a lot. I don't want to count them out, so I'll just go ahead and do that. So this is check, check, oops, and then actions calculation, and actions check. Okay, and then choice execution. Okay, and so now we have the end of turn effect actions calculation. And check. Okay, and finally just status. Where is that? Okay, there it is. Like I copied a bit too many, but that's okay. Oops, yeah, I don't need a choice. Okay, so yeah, again, this dictionary just maps a certain ready check type to the last phase that we would refuse to send a ready check automatically. Okay, and then let's see. So server play phase last use phase. Okay, so if last refuse, try get value for the type here. Then if is auto linear phase, then we give that. Gosh, I can't type. Okay, and so if this returns true, we can actually send the ready check back and just the same type. Okay, and I guess we could do a switch for some other types if we ever have a special case, but we don't right now, so that's fine. Cool, so yeah, now we've taken care of all these play phases, and it's pretty clean. Cool. The one other thing I need to do is the play flow. Okay, hopefully I can do this real quick. Don't need that right now. So on tick, what I need to do, yeah, something like this. So if we're in the choice actions calculation, then I need to make sure that the play messages as received the turn selections. Do that. Yeah, so selection message received, and then we need to check to make sure that the ready checks for play action is that right? Play choice. No, this should be selections. So if we've received, so this contains this enumeration if it's received a ready check from all clients. And so if that's true and we've received a selection message, then we know we're ready to move on. So I can change this to server, play phase, action. Oh, yeah, it's selections. I keep doing that. And then we'll just send this ready check back to all clients. That's what this function does. And this is just like the old system, which I don't really need, so I think I'll delete it. I'm going to leave this because when we handle errors, we'll need to have that. Okay, so I think, let's see if there's any errors with syntax, but if not, hopefully when we play it, we should be able to move on to the next phase. Okay, so then I'll scroll over to the second player. Okay, so yeah, no, something's wrong because it's still sending messages. Okay, let's scroll up to where it first started. Okay, so options generator complete, blah blah blah. Not what I need. Okay, so here, yeah, fired that. Okay, so that changed to submit selection. So then we sent these two messages over to the server. The server received this ready check. And then, yeah, we got that. And playful manager. Yeah, so it got this ready check change event, but didn't actually do anything with it. And then the client's going to send another ready check. Okay, so let's see. Server, I did do this. Okay, so either... Okay, let's do some debugging here. I'm pretty sure the ready check system is working unless I have the type wrong. But no, that wouldn't be because we got choice selection and calculation right there. And... yeah, that's the right type. So I'm guessing that there's something's wrong with the choice message cache. I'll fix this in about 5 minutes, hopefully. So when we send it, or yeah, let's just do this again and watch for the debug logs. Okay, went too far. Okay, so now it's sending and... okay, so it's sent this... yeah, the set turn selections. But it doesn't seem like... okay, so it didn't get any of those debug logs. So... what could be going wrong here? Oh! Yeah, that's wrong. I didn't change the state check. So yeah, this should change to server play phase, choice selections calculation. Okay, so I think, yeah, it's that simple, I think. Okay, unfortunately that did not fix it either. So it says all received. Yeah, it's saying all received. So something else was wrong. Selection message received is set to true. Oh, again, it's this type is wrong. Selections. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Okay, so try that one more time. I think the names are good. I don't know. I just see calculation and then don't read the whole thing, I guess. Okay, so now, yeah, now we went through to request all selections because the choice message sender went complete. Let's just look up. So yeah, we sent the message, both messages, and then we got the turn selection message, and we got the signal that all complete. Okay. So the play flow manager fired to move from selection calculation to selections check. Then it sent a message back to the server, or back to the client. We received that. Yeah, okay, and then we just moved to request all selections. So I think everything is good. Let's just get rid of those debug logs while I remember, so we don't clog it up anymore. Now that I think about it, I should also get rid of this debug log. Okay. But yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. We'll come back, probably finish up the rest of this netcode and maybe move on to generating actions. That's already kind of half complete because I had to do some of it during map generation. So, but yeah, that will be a little involved because at the same time I'm going to need to update animations and sound. Which hopefully won't be that difficult because I created that relatively recently, so I already kind of knew that this was coming, but we'll see. But yeah, so thanks everybody for coming by today. I really appreciate it. I'll be live tomorrow at around noon Eastern time like normal. Feel free to follow me here on Twitch or on my Twitter. I always tweet there when I go live. I have a YouTube channel if you'd like to check out any previous videos you might have missed. And I also have a Discord server where you can chat with me. I'd love to have you there. I'll put links in chat, or you can check out a video description if you're watching from YouTube. But yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.